You remember the night. Maybe it was a Tuesday. Maybe it was 2 in the morning. You just ended things with someone who wasn't terrible, and that's what made it so hard. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't abusive. He was just not it. Not what your spirit could confirm. Not what God had promised. So you said no. You drove home. You walked into your apartment, and the silence hit you like a wall. And you sat on the edge of your bed and thought, what if that was my last chance? What if I just let go of the only man who will ever want me? And you cried, not because you made the wrong decision, because the right decision hurt so much. You've prayed, you've waited, you've held the line when everything in you was screaming to let go of it. You watched the man you walked away from move on. You got invited to another wedding, and the +1 line on the RSVP is still empty. Maybe your mother said, gently, the way only mothers can, maybe your standards are too high, honey. And for the first time, a part of you wondered, was I wrong? Did I sacrifice something real for something that doesn't exist? Hear me clearly. You are not too picky. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are a woman who planted a seed when everything inside you wanted to eat it. And God has something specific to say to you today. Not another warning, not another don't settle message, but a promise, His promise, to the woman who already obeyed. Here is what you need to understand about the seed you've been holding. A farmer in a drought has a choice. In her hand is a seed, one seed. She is hungry. She hasn't eaten in days. She could put that seed in her mouth right now and have one meal, one moment of relief. The hunger would stop, at least for tonight. But if she plants it, if she endures the hunger, waters the ground, waits through the dry season, that one seed becomes a harvest, not one meal, months of food, enough to feed a family, enough to sustain generations. Every time you refused to settle, you held the seed. You were starving, lonely, exhausted, aching, and something showed up, offering relief. Good enough. Better than nothing. At least he's here. You could have eaten the seed. You didn't. You planted it instead. And God's promise to the woman who planted instead of consumed is this: the harvest is coming, and it will be more than one meal. The first promise God makes to you is this: what you sacrificed will not simply be replaced, it will be multiplied. Think about Abraham. This man waited 25 years for Isaac. 25 years of believing, doubting, almost giving up, watching Sarah's body grow older while the promise remained unfulfilled. And then, miraculously, Isaac came. The child he had waited for, the proof that God keeps His word. And then God said, "Now give him back. Walk up the mountain. Lay your son on the altar. Raise the knife." Can you imagine? Not wait a little longer, but surrender the thing you already received. Abraham walked up that mountain with Isaac beside him, and every step must have felt like it was breaking something inside him, but he obeyed. Not because he understood, because he trusted that the God who gave the promise wouldn't waste the sacrifice. At the moment of surrender, the ram appeared in the thicket. And God didn't just say, "You can keep Isaac." He said something far greater. Genesis 22:16, 1:7. "Because you have done this, and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, because you did this. Not despite it, because of it. Every time you said no to good enough, you were walking up that mountain, knife in hand, tears on your face. You weren't just saying no to a stranger, you were saying no to companionship, to someone who held your hand, to warmth on a cold night. You sacrificed something real. And God speaks the same word over you that He spoke over Abraham. Because you did not withhold, I will not just give you what you asked for. Ephesians 3:20 says, He will give immeasurably more than all you could ask or imagine. Not equivalent, not replacement, multiplication. The second promise is this: what you did in the dark will be honored in the light. Nobody applauded when you said no. Nobody saw the night you deleted his number and cried yourself to sleep. Nobody was in the car with you driving home from that last date, knowing it was over not because he was terrible, but because he wasn't right. Nobody watched you sit alone at another wedding, smiling for the photos, breaking inside, still choosing to wait. Your obedience happened in private, in silence, without an audience. But God keeps record. Matthew 6:4 says, Your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Not might reward, will. What nobody witnessed, what nobody validated, what nobody even knows you sacrificed. Your Father saw every single moment of it. Joseph understood this. When Potiphar's wife grabbed him and said, Lie with me, there was no audience for his integrity. No one to witness his no. He was a slave, she was powerful, and he could have taken the shortcut. Nobody would have known. He refused, and it cost him prison, years of his life. His obedience didn't just go unrewarded, it was punished. If you had watched Joseph's life from the outside in that season, you would have said, that man's integrity got him nowhere. But God was keeping record, and that prison, the very place his no sent him, was the exact location where he would interpret a dream that brought him before Pharaoh, before a throne. Before the fulfillment of every dream he'd ever had, your no might look like it cost you everything. Your inbox might be quieter. Your Friday nights might be emptier. Your apartment might feel louder in its silence than you thought a room could feel. But what was done in the dark, every private sacrifice, every tear-soaked obedience, will be honored in the light. God doesn't reward late, He rewards precisely. The third promise may be the one you least expected to hear, and it might be the one that changes you the most. Your standards are not just your boundary, they are your legacy. Here is what you didn't realize when you said no. You weren't only protecting yourself, you were declaring something to the spiritual realm. Every time you walked away from misalignment, you said, the covenant God promised me is worth the cost. The woman who settles teaches her daughter that loneliness is worse than misalignment. The woman who refuses teaches her daughter that God's promises are worth more than panic's shortcuts. Proverbs 31:10 says, A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. That worth isn't only her value to a husband, it is her value to a lineage. Her standards shape a household. Her boundaries protect generations. Your no becomes their inheritance. And here is the part that might undo you. Your future husband, the one God is actually preparing, will one day thank you for refusing to settle. Not because you waited for him specifically, but because the woman you became by holding the line is the woman he needs. The depth, the discernment, the wholeness, the identity that cannot be shaken. None of that exists in the woman who settled. It only exists in the woman who held. Now a word for when temptation returns, because it will. Sooner or later, another good enough will appear. Maybe he's already in your messages. Maybe he's the one your friend keeps trying to set you up with. And you'll feel it again, that pull. And you need to understand what that pull actually is, because it is rarely about desire. It is almost always about exhaustion. The temptation to settle is not love. It is tiredness wearing love's face. So, when that moment comes, remember 3 things. First, you have already paid the cost. Every previous no is an investment. Do not cash out early. Second, hunger is temporary, but harvest is generational. The seed you are holding is worth more planted than eaten. Third, God does not forget. He sees in secret. He rewards openly. Your no is on record. And the harvest, Galatians 6-9 promises, will come at the proper time if you do not give up. Before you go, let me say something that I need you to actually hear. I am not promising you a husband as the reward for your obedience. The promise is bigger than a ring. The multiplication might take the form of a partnership. It might take the form of a calling that required your wholeness to carry it. It might take the form of a depth of intimacy with God that a compromised season never could have produced. God's promise is not small enough to fit inside one outcome. Do not reduce what He's doing to one answer. And if you are watching this and you settled maybe years ago, maybe recently, this is not condemnation. God redeems. He restores. He works within every decision, even the ones we wish we could undo. There is grace in that place too. But to the woman still holding the line, still planting instead of consuming, still choosing obedience when the cost of it is visible every single day, this message is yours. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not invisible. You are a woman who held a seed through drought and hunger and silence. And the same God who multiplied Abraham's sacrifice, who honored Joseph's integrity in the dark, who sees everything done in secret, that God has not forgotten one no you ever said in His name. The harvest is coming, and it will be more than one meal. If you held the seed when everything in you wanted to eat it, type in the comments, I held the seed. The harvest is coming. And share this with the woman who has been holding the line alone. She needs to know her sacrifice was not invisible. And if this message blessed you, remember to like, subscribe, and share so others can be strengthened by the Word of God.